Welcome to a world called Stoneblock 3, where we start our journey in the middle of a cave with nothing but a torch as we progress to complete a goal of obtaining a mythical ingot named Infinity. Watch me as I embark on a 100-day journey in modded Minecraft as I live in a world made by stone and harder materials as I dive deeper into the world. I hope you enjoy. See you in the video. Day 1, I spawned into my world and realized that I had a quest book in my inventory. Then I started off by reading the information page and realized there was a ring surrounding my world made up of stone, netherrack and endstone. Through the map there were structures which would be useful later in the video. I went back to the world and started off by mining some stone to get some stone pebbles. I used the pebbles to make some cobblestone in a 2x2 crafting recipe. The same with the cobblestone, I made a cobblestone crafting table. I then made some tools and continued to collect some cobblestone instead of the pebbles. After I had gathered the cobblestone, I proceeded with the quests by using my new hammer to crush blocks into pure forms, and at the end I got dirt. I used a feature named FTB Ultimate to mine multiple blocks at once. After using this, I got the dirt by mining cobblestone with the hammer and it got gravel. Then I did the same thing with the gravel to produce dirt. I then used my new stone sticks I made with the cobblestone to construct a crook, which I used to fish plants from the dirt. In the end, I managed to get myself 3 oak saplings, which I used for wood. Nothing much happened after that, but I did have access to wood and apples to keep me alive, since this is a hardcore world. After gaining that loot, I started looking at my next quest. I needed to venture up 50 blocks to have access to the andesite, which would be used to make a millstone. I soon found my first ever loot bee, which supplied me with 4 eggs, an emerald, and my first ever diamond of this series. I then made myself some gravel using the cobblestone generator I got from a quest and threw a stack into the millstone so I could use the crank to grind it into sand, coal, zinc, and most importantly, iron. It's day 3 and I thought it would be a good idea to automate the millstone by making a water wheel and some cogs to power it. So all I had to do was chuck the gravel into the contraption for it to dispute the items. With the iron and andesite, I forged them together to make andesite alloy, which was used to make mechanical presses, which made the material necessary for an encased fan. That was the key to getting me diamonds, emeralds, iron nuggets, flint, amethyst, and cinnabar. I then made a drawer system which held those resources and had enough to fit 2,000 of each. I put the diamonds to use, and this is now how I look like. Day 4, I focused on using the mod Tinker's Construct, which allowed me to melt things and forge items together to make various tools, even though each part is uniquely different. I then focused on getting the materials for a seared smeltery so that I could melt and alloy ores into things I need for the future. Day 5, I wanted to expand my base so that I could make space for future builds. I used my remaining diamonds to make a hammer, which would mine in a 3x3x1 area, and I made a base, which was a 25x25. I also had enough materials to make my first ever little smeltery, but this was the first step to getting the big seared smeltery. Day 6, I finally had enough resources to build the whole seared smeltery and took that opportunity to melt both my zinc and copper, and then I finally alloyed it into brass. I then used the brass on stripped wood and completed one of the items for the mechanical crafting recipe. Day 7, I started focusing on making the electron tubes for the recipe, and to make this I needed polished rose quartz, which is made by combining 8 redstone and 1 quartz. I bulk washed some dust to make redstone, and for the quartz I needed soul sand, which was made by bulk haunting sand. Day 8, I continued to collect all the items from the mechanical crafter, and I made use of my eggs by starting off with types of resource chickens. They're just basically OP item farms used by item laying chickens. I did this by making a 12 by 12 grass area and making a little space with a cage, and threw all the eggs for the baby chickens to hatch, and I sped up the maturing process by using seeds. I then used my new quartz and redstone and managed to complete the recipe for the mechanical crafters. Day 9, I decided to start combining my mechanical crafters with my chicken farm so that I could create resource chickens, and I did this by powering the mechanical crafters with the simple and complex steam engine. I then started the chicken crafting recipe and ended up with a bone white chicken and a flint chicken and many others. Day 10, nothing much happened, but was spent making and breeding my new resource chickens, while I managed in the end to get a diamond chicken. The reason I'm ending the video right here is because my computer can't handle all these video files, and I promise in my next video it will be much longer. So thank you for watching part 1, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the series.